about a 2.5 hour sit, and then back to LA. So
Wow.
very nice. Some language barriers coming out of Guadalajara. I had to have the clearance read back to me 3 times. I kept looking at my captain like, "Did you get it?" He's like, "Nope."
Yeah, they always give it to you in a different or a different format, not format, different out of sequence, a different sequence.
Yeah, and not only
You know
that,
what I mean?
she spoke English well, but it was very fast.
Yeah.
And the accent was so heavy that my mind had to translate, even though it was in English, my mind had to translate what was being said, these waypoints. She was even giving me the waypoints phonetically. And still, I was like,
yeah.
Is that a J or a K or?
Yeah, because sometimes when they say, they'll give you a phonetic sequence, and then immediately following that, they'll say the word direct or direct to, but your mind hears the accent in there, and you almost think that that word direct to is actually a fix that they're trying to tell you where to go.
Right.
So then you're like, oh, wait, what was that again? And then you're like, oh, okay. Then you write down this other fix, and you're like, wow, I really need to listen closer,
Yeah. So, and I have here the flight release. And they don't have digital PDC or digital ATIS, so we had to get everything via voice. And so she gave me this departure, and then it was, direct to Goyas Directa Dangos and Directa Charlie Delta Romeo Uniform Juliet 40. And I was like, wait. I got Goyas. What's after that?
Juliet.
Can you spell Goyas, please? I'm sorry. Golf. Okay.
Golfy Oscar Yankee.
And so, I felt bad. I had to make her repeat it 3 times. But hey, we got it. It was a nice departure. We had, again, the single engine procedure in case we lost.
I was going to say real quick, I just learned something the other day, and this is a great thing about aviation is you're always learning something, right? You said that in Guadalajara they don't have CPDLC or PDC, right? Is that correct? Is that what you said?
Yeah, PDC.
PDC or CP. Do you guys use CPDLC also?
The Neo is the only aircraft on our fleet that is currently using the CPDLC.
So we were in Mexico City the other day, and they do not have PDC, and they do not have CPDLC.
Okay.
But the captain, he's been on the 737 forever. Actually flew the 737 at Airways, I believe, when they had the Dash 200s.
Okay.
So he's been on a 737 forever. So great person to fly a 737 with, because it's a plethora of knowledge. But anyway, so we were in Mexico City, and we were requesting the clearance via voice. Mm-hmm. So instead of them saying Legacy 1, 2, 3, you're cleared to DFW via blah blah blah, he said, go ahead in the FMS in the CDU and request. Go to the ACARS link and say, press the button that says request clearance. He's like, we never use that. There's nowhere in our manuals that tell you that that is active, but push it and watch what happens. And I'm looking at the charts and I'm like, it doesn't say it has PDC or CPDLC, so I don't know how this is going to work. 2 minutes later, you get a ding dong in the airplane, which is telling you got an ACARS message. Rip it off the printer, and you got your whole clearance printed out for you. And I'm like, this is awesome, because now you don't have to call, clearance in Mexico and listen to the controller try to give you a clearance in English that you're going to have to decipher back to your English and put together the route. So it was just like you'd get a PDC clearance, but it literally just says in our CDU, it says request clearance. That's it.
So does it go to dispatch, and dispatch gets it from the FAA desk, and the FAA desk then sends it to the dispatcher or sends it to the airplane?
I honestly couldn't tell you. It was such a, it was such a moment in my aviation career where you kind of go, that is awesome. That's so FM,
Man, that's great.
All you've ever known was, okay, if it doesn't say PDC in the 10-9 page,
right,
or if it doesn't say CPDLC, then you're going to have to do voice. You're going to have to listen to the ATIS, call them up, and get it via voice clearance.
Right.
But this one it doesn't say that in Mexico City. So I was like, all right, I'm going to have to call voice. And he's like, hey, wait, try this.
Wow.
And when we called for taxi, they didn't even ask. Like, okay, they knew we had our clearance and cleared for takeoff.
And okay, now I'm curious. I'm gonna start doing some digging, because if the Airbus has this, game changer.
It would be, and you kind of have to test it in Mexico. I mean,
yeah.
If it comes back with nothing, then you're gonna have to call them up again and just be like, hey, all right, give me my clearance.
Yeah.
So I know, that was cool.
And just do the whole Sam Elliott, like the captain you flew with your check ride, Sam Elliott. Just be like, this is legacy 1, 2, 3.
That's it.
I'll pick up my clearance.
That's it. Yeah, that's it, man. Just slow it
You're
back.
gonna have to say that again real slow.
As you can see, this is the speed that I talk at. So this will be the speed that my brain can process it at.
I know I've mentioned this before in a previous episode, and I think we've shared this, amongst each other as well. Best thing I ever heard was, here we were flying into Chicago, and the Chicago controllers, they're great. They're the best controllers, in my opinion, in the country, honestly. And they'll tell you they're supposed to only give you 3 amendments to a clearance, or 3 clearances at a time in one transmission, right? So they should tell you, like, whatever, Sandpiper 123, descend, maintain 5,000, turn left heading 180, intercept the localizer, and whatever. So 3 things. Well, here we are, and it's a busy day. It's VFR, so they've got everybody stacked like on top of each other. You got to hold your speed to the knot. And they're like, I told you to 180. How come you slow to 170? It's like, okay. Yeah. So everyone's like doing their thing, and everybody's like reading back, blah, 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 and all of a sudden you hear the controllers say, they were talking to an American Airlines Mad Dog, and they're like, American, whatever it was, descend, maintain 5,000, turn left heading 180, intercept the localizer, clear hold 180 to this, and hold, then clear the visual, and like 5 things, and there's like a break in the transmission, which doesn't happen at O'Hare.
Yeah.
It's silence, and so like after like a second or 2 of silence, you hear, now hold on a second, you either need to say that again 3 more times, or say it once real slow like. Everybody was laughing. The controller's like, I'm sorry, American, and then they gave them one thing at a time. Descend, maintain 5,000. Descend, maintain 5,000. Turn left heading 180. Turn left heading 180. And it gave him the whole thing. And then at the end of it, he goes, now you see, isn't that much better?
I love it, man. That's great, man.
Like, those American guys are awesome.
Oh, man.